Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be a follow-up to the previous video regarding importing transactions into Lunch Money. Specifically, this time we're going to be talking about auto-importing transactions by connecting your bank account directly. This method makes it a lot easier to keep track of your expenses, update your budget, and have a clear overview of your finances. It also removes a lot of the friction of having to manually keep up with your budget on a daily basis. As a side note, I do understand that there are people who have concerns about safety and security when connecting their bank accounts to third-party apps. Lunch Money connects to your bank account and fetches transactions using a service called Plaid, which is a company that's used by many other financial services such as Robinhood, Coinbase, Venmo, YNAB, etc. Plaid does implement quite a few security measures such as end-to-end encryption, third-party security reviews, and multi-factor authentication. However, that being said, I know that there still will be some people who are uncomfortable connecting their bank accounts. If you fall under that category, then you can check out my other video where I talk about how to import transactions manually, either individually or as a bulk import via a CSV file from your bank account directly. With that being said, we can now move into how to connect your bank account and auto import transactions. So once you log into Lunch Money, you're going to come to this overview page here, which is essentially a landing page for your whole budget. And this is going to include the accounts overview, which has the balances for your various accounts, and the spending breakdown for whatever period you have selected up here. So to get to your accounts, we're going to click on Setup and click on the Accounts tab, and that's going to bring us to this accounts page here. From here, we can click on Add Account, Auto Import from my bank, and you're going to get this pop-up here. So one thing to note is that the auto import feature through Plaid is currently only available in Canada, the United States, and a select few European countries, which can be seen here. Now, if you're not from one of these places, you're not necessarily out of luck, because there are some third-party tools that are created by developers using the Lunch Money API that allow syncing of bank accounts from other countries. So to access that, you can click right here, and it's going to give you some links to third-party solutions that you can use to connect your bank account to Lunch Money, and those are not using Plaid. So since I'm in Canada, I'm going to click right here, click continue, and now what it's going to do is it's going to take you to the Plaid website. From here we can go, and I'm just going to click on continue as guest. And then you can either choose a credit card or a debit card. I'm going to do American Express, and I'll be back in a second once I've entered my details, and I'll show you what comes next. Once you enter your credentials and log in, it's going to bring you to this page here. From here you can select which accounts you want to sync with Lunch Money. Right now here I only have one account because it's a credit card, but if you were to connect with your bank account, you might have multiple accounts over there that you can choose to select, such as checking or savings. So for now, I'll just select this one, click continue. And now what it's going to do is connect your account, and it'll tell you that it's successful. We're just going to click on finish without saving. So after successfully connecting with Plaid, it's going to bring you back to the Lunch Money website and bring you to this page here. From here, you can decide what you want your account display name to be, and whether you're merging this account with an existing account. Now, this would be the case if you had already manually created your account on Lunch Money and were importing the transactions manually, either one by one or using the CSV import tool. And now, at this later point in time, you wanted to connect your account to Lunch Money and have it auto import transactions. So in this case, I would click yes, I'm merging this with an existing account, and then you would select which account you want to merge with. Now, one thing to note is that this newly synced account will have an import start date automatically set based on the merged account's last imported transactions. And what this essentially means is that, for example, if I had last manually imported transactions to that account, let's say 4 days ago, once I connect to this account here automatically, Lunch Money will automatically import the transactions from 4 days ago till now, and then continue in the future to automatically import the transactions. Now in my case, this is a new account, so I'm just going to click no. and you're gonna have a few toggles here. I don't really like the emails when new transactions are imported. To me, I find it a bit annoying, so I'm just gonna toggle that off, and then I'll just keep this toggle on here to import all the historical transactions from this account. So I can just click start importing, and then it's gonna take a little while to fetch that data and import the account. So it'll just be processing here. And there you go, it's active, and then you can see when it was last updated. So from here, I can click on the account, and then you can see the status of it here, when the last update was received, when it was connected to Plaid, and then when the last data was imported. So one thing to note is that the amount of times you'll have to trigger refresh or force reconnect will be very dependent on which account you're connecting to. So for example, in my experience with Amex, it's a seamless experience, and I basically never have to force refresh, and my transactions are always imported and up to date. However, with my bank account, it's a different story. In the case of my bank account, I have to force reconnect and relink my bank account every time I want to import transactions. This is sort of annoying, but it's not an issue with Lunch Money. Rather, it's an issue with the connection between Plaid and the bank accounts themselves. And personally, in my experience, I've found that with accounts that have two-factor authentication, I basically have to force reconnect every time I want to import transactions and do the two-factor authentication step through Plaid. So that's just something to note in case you are having issues with your bank account losing the link with Lunch Money. And one last thing, if you're on your overview page here, you can also click on this little sync button, and it'll try and sync your accounts in the background and update your numbers here. So all in all, this for me has been the way that's made me most consistent with tracking my budget, as it auto updates such that I just have to go in, review the transactions, and my budget is automatically updated. It removes a lot of the friction and creates an easy system for me to follow. And as always, if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you would like to sign up for Lunch Money yourself and give it a try, I'm going to include my referral link in the description below, which gets you an additional 2 weeks on top of the 1 month free trial that's offered to you by Lunch Money when first signing up. Thank you very much, and have a good day.